Hello, and welcome back to Suzerain, the Republic of Swordling. And today's episode, what's up? Whatever. We're doing some budget allocation of Swordish armed forces. To determine the current situation of the military and its spending policy, we held a meeting in the White Room. Peter, Vulcan, and Isaac were seated. General Vulcan, Mr. Lindsay, let's start with the briefing. Very well, Mr. Vice President. We have prepared a briefing to convey further details about the current situation of our military. Sir, we have received an update communicating from the Arcasian Military Command. The plans are being moved into Lower Air Base as we speak, under our supervision, of course. Do your best to make them feel at home. Isaac and Vulcan looked at each other. We will try our best. Now, let's move on to our military. Which branch would you like to know about, sir? What is the situation of our army? According to the latest reports from Camp Strongarm, currently, we field 6 armies totaling up to approximately 400,000 active troops, which is a good amount. The real issue we are having is the quality, not quantity. What is the current equipment status? Our army is quite outdated by today's military standards. Most of our equipment is 2 decades old. To make up for our lack of modern military equipment, we resort to a large number of soldiers, which is not really a long-term solution. I've been trying too hard to reduce the negative effects of this program. We don't need a modernization program. A standardized purchase of lacking equipment would do. We need more funding towards expanding this military size, otherwise our army will be seen as weak. Where exactly is our army deployed right now? The first army is stationed at Lesbia and Whitland borders to protect the way into central regions of Swordland. The second army, our largest force, has been situated in the Rumburg border. The second army has a large mountain commando force, and is the most adequately equipped army to face Rumburg. The third army is near the Angolian border, and the coastal areas facing Vagsland. Due to the bitter past, our coastal defense force is always on alert. The decimation of our fleet still is not forgotten. How do we compare to other armies? Rumburg fields about 6 armies, amounting to 1 million soldiers. Lesbia fields 5 armies, which amounts to 800,000 soldiers. Vagsland fields 1 army, of about 140,000 soldiers. Welland fields an army amounting to 100,000 soldiers, and Magnolia fields 2 armies with a total of 200,000 soldiers. The sheer size of Rumburg's army is because of their forced conscription laws. They are able to afford such a large force to their massive gold reserves, which significantly come from Rhesia over the past decades. On the other hand, the Lesbian army is the most advanced, followed by the Vagslandian army. Both of these countries put a lot of money in modernizing their army. I'm curious about another branch. Very well. Let's talk about our navy. Our navy currently constitutes 59 vessels, with a total of 60,000 sailors and support staff. As you know, these ships are commanded from our main naval base in Conriat, where our flagship, SN Renan, is docked. Can we build another 10 ships, please? How does our navy compare to others? Our navy is dwarfed by the size of the Vaglandian navy, which has 194 ships, and the Agnolian navy, that has 81 ships. We only surpass Lesbia in terms of our navy, as they have less than 30 ships. As you see, the situation is dire, but the solution is not just more ships. To make a truly better navy, we need to equip our ships with modern radar and sonar systems. More outdated ships wouldn't mean much. Which seas does our navy currently patrol? We are patrolling the Marquian Sea, the Grey Strait, and the Antacean Sea. Our navy protects our coastal regions, however, to make sure we are not thinning out our defense. We prioritize current regions over others, like Greater Holsword. We often patrol the routes that are close to the shipping lanes, especially the Marquean Sea and Grey Strait. The amount of cargo that goes through that area is eye-opening. Another thing to note, after the takeover of Hedgeland, where our Navy has led incursion operations to protect Agnoia, we also take part in some joint Navy drills as well. Let's hear about the other branches of the armed forces. Which one? Can you details about our Air Force? Our Air Force currently has 410 planes in the inventory, out of which only 140 are jet planes that are not in great condition. 30,000 pilots and support staff work in the airbase. They're commanded from the Mark Air Force Base in Air Lorry. What are our operational capacities? Our planes can bomb targets within 400 radius of their airfield. They have medium range and effective nighttime bombing capabilities. At any time, we can field 7 air wings composing a total of 130 aircraft that can operate at combat duty. This is enough to subdue most targets. In terms of our bombing capabilities, we have an average of 100 meters of precision. This is not great, but it is still within the effective radius of the bombs. How experienced are our pilots, not pirates? Our pilots have average experience. They have a total of 450 hours flight time with their craft before they are qualified. This gives them more than enough time to get used to it. This is low compared to 1,000 to 1,500 hours in other countries like Arcadia, United Cortana, Lesbia, and even Vagsland. Normally the hours per pilot should be higher, but due to the lack of funding, we can't increase the training times. Fuel costs are running high. Fair enough. How does our Air Force work together with other military branches? The Air Force is trained as an independent tactical support branch, which means it assists other branches but doesn't collaborate. This does cause some issues like friendly fire and missed close air support opportunities. There are ways to improve collaboration with joint operation rooms. Something to think about, surely. Let's move on. Let's. To say that the Ministry of Defense is furious about the reduction of military budget would be an understatement. This was a betrayal in our eyes. As if the reduction was not enough, you also decided against reinforcing our border. If Rumburg were to attack, we would need to sacrifice many soldiers to hold the line now. Izuf narrows his eyes. If I didn't know better, I would say you are intentionally trying to weaken Swordland, Mr. President. We are sorry, but this had to be done. Ridiculous! We stared down each other. Peter finally interjected. Let's calm down, gentlemen. This is a new age where the military is not top priority. We are going to transform to a new Swordland. This is the age of Rumburg expansionism, and here we are cutting funding for the military. We will need to cut training time, let soldiers go, and stop purchasing equipment. This is disastrous and will destroy the armed forces as we know it. The military makes do. I'm sure you talented gentlemen will find ways to circumulate the cuts sufficiently. Do not expect these Swordish armed forces to be capable of force after these budget changes. Izef's voice was getting louder and louder. Gentlemen, please, let's calm down. No need to cause a ruckus. Now that to the hundreds of thousands that will lose their employment and the honorable general staff of the armed forces. We mean no insult to the armed forces. There are simply no resources left. You don't mean it, but it has been done. We expected much more from you, Mr. President. You have let us down. Let's hope that our enemies won't realize our weaknesses. Azef and Falcon were angry, but there was not much that could be done about it. The meeting concluded as the sun set over the concrete jungle that was Holsword. Well, it's done. What you gonna do? Yeah. What we got in the news? A blow to national pride. The recent investments by Rumberg and Rizia in our homegrown Gassam corporations are nothing short of national disgrace. These foreign powers are buying their way into our economy and undermining Sorden's sovereignty and weakening the pillars of our proud nation. It's high time our government under President Anton Reign revisits its policies and prioritizes swordish interests over foreign capital, just like the former President Churchill did with the Energy Protection Act of 1932. Second Contanian satellite in space. Chairman Leon Milev Chavateng Akuiwia addressed the world announcing the second successful satellite launch from Ruster Air Base, which has now reached low Earth orbit. The chairman praised the sciences and the UCOSM that allowed the country to reach space a second time. The functionality of the satellite was confirmed when the radio contact was established after deployment. Government backs rural development. In a significant move, the government has decided to back the Gruny Rural Development Investment Plan. This investment in a rural economy aims to bolster agricultural productivity and secure our food supplies. While the cost of the investment is considerable, the potential benefits to our agrarian communities and national food security could well justify the expenditure. Massive protest against Governor Braun. An explosive wave of protests has swept through Bergia, with the people taking to the streets to demand an end to the Governor Phoenix Braun's discriminatory policies against the Bloodish community. The governor's decision to arbitrarily surveil British citizens under the guise of countering the BFF has created a culture of fear and imitation in the community. The action of Phoenix Braun betray a deep-seated prejudice and disregard for the human rights of the British people. The government's policies have been nothing short of witch hunt against the British community, and the people are finally fed up with the oppressive structure of the special zone that exists in Bergia. They are demanding that their civil liberties and basic human rights be respected. It's time for the government to end their reign of terror against the British people, and to start working to address the root causes of the unrest in the region. The special zone must be abolished, and the governor must be held accountable for his actions and removed from office if he cannot serve all citizens equally. Rizia invites Rumberg's Royal Emerald Energy into Gaza. In a recent development, the Kingdom of Rizia has extended an invitation to Royal Emerald Energy Rumberg to join in the investments of Gaza. This move signifies Rizia's commitment to fostering international allies and shared economic prosperity. The potential entrance of Rumberg into the Swordish energy section could reshape the industry's dynamics. Nice. We'll keep all that in mind. How you doing, Volgan? Stagnation marks Gruny's regional growth. Gruny, known for its fertile lands and world-renowned vineyards, is currently experiencing stagnation in regional growth. This economic flatlining has raised concerns over Gruny's economic resilience and the need for innovation strategies to revitalize its growth. The city and regional authorities are closely monitoring the situation to take necessary actions. Holsord? The Minister of Education is reporting the massive overhaul to the education system progressing slower than expected. Only a few schools in Swordland will collaborate in the reduction of hours taught in citizenship, socialism, and nationalism subjects. Significant efforts are being made to lessen the political indoctrination in education, but are met with resistance. Other changes which were supposed to happen in the curriculum, pedagogical improvements like improved teacher-student relations and the emphasis on critical thinking development, weren't able to start due to a lack of workforce and funding. Minister Walda reports little progress, with most schools delaying the transformation on political grounds. Boo! L1 Railway nears completion. The L1 Railway, running from Holsard to Lacheven, is mostly complete, with the final preparations being made for the opening. Underhaul construction guarantees a timely delivery of all contractual obligations. With Holsard about to be closely linked to the country's biggest port in Lacheven, businesses in the region are expected to gain a significant boost and are already negotiating rail transport contracts for the transfer of goods. Nice. Assured energy sector draws foreign investors. Assured energy sectors experience a surge of foreign investments following the recent amendments to the Energy Protection Act. The relaxed regulations of foreign ownership have opened up new capital flows, bolstering the local energy industry. The influx of overseas capital offers promising prospects for economic growth in Estord. Death of former Black Battalion Brigadier General. In Estord, a former Brigadier General of the Black Battalion has been found dead. The cause of death is currently under investigation. The Brigadier General, who once held a significant position in the military established in 1930, has been followers from the NFP, and his sudden death has caused a stir in the city. Foreign energy investments surge. In the wake of recent modifications to the Energy Protection Act, Latvian has seen an uptick in foreign energy investments. The softened foreign ownership rules has catalyzed the entry of overseas capital, infusing new energy into the local industry. This surge in foreign investments is a positive sign for Latvian energy sector and its economic future. I agree. I mean, just look at that growth. It's going up. Downsizing announced at Narbil's Gossam branch. The Gossam branch in Narbil has recently announced a downsizing of its operation. The company's decision, while aimed at enhancing operation efficiency, has stirred concerns amongst existing workforce. The economic gratification of this move on Narbil's local economy and the future transition of Gossam are subjects of close attention. Come on, the economy's doing well. Why are you doing that? Foreign energy investments flow into Ripple. Ripple has seen a notable influx of foreign energy investments, a positive trend that suggests growing international confidence in the region's energy sector. These investments are forecasted to stimulate Ripple's local economy and accelerate the development of its energy infrastructure. The impact of the surge in foreign capital on Ripple's overall economic growth and energy sector's performance is being closely monitored. Suzerain. Bergia is witnessing a period of economic stagnation. The regional growth rate flatlined. Industries and businesses across various sectors are reporting sluggish performance, affecting the city's economic vitality. This downturn has sparked concerns about the region's economic resilience and the need for innovative growth strategies. Suzerain. Protest against Governor Braun's security policies. An exceptionally large protest has taken place in Suzerain, as well as several others in Bergia, indicating the increase of general unrest against the special zone and governor's security policies targeting British freedom fraud. Honestly, I agree, but, I can't do much there, sadly. The governor has authorized widespread surveillance of British individuals, which has created a climate of fear and mistrust in the community. The British people are demanding that their civil liberties and human rights be respected, that they are not unfairly targeted based on their ethnicity or perceived political affiliations. Acacian Treaty Organization. ATO embraces the new paradigm the PMCs legalize. The ATO, responding to the evolving dynamic of global security, has extended official recognition and legitimacy not only to the Service International and the Planetarian Security Solutions, but to all private military companies, PMCs. This decision marks a significant policy shift, acknowledging PMCs as an instrumental to the future security strategies of the ATO member states. Private militaries now stand firmly in the global arena with the ATO's full endorsement, augmenting existing military resources and providing a new layer of strategic capabilities against potential challenges, most notably from the CSP. The sanctioning of PMC activities has consequently reshaped the operational dynamics of these organizations, amplifying their roles in the international security and conflict resolutions. With this newfound recognition, PMCs are poised to operate within the mainstream security framework, demonstrating the ATO's adaptability, forward-thinking approach to defense policy. The shift reflects a broader strategy to maintain the competitive edge in the increasing complex landscape of global security. Is it time? Oh, it's time! It's time for trade talks! Oh, I'm excited for that. Diplomatic mission. And his team is currently leading a diplomatic mission. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, I think we'll begin these diplomatic missions and see how they go in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.